So I put together a tier list of all the tech that I found throughout the year of 2021, and we're gonna talk about it all and rank it from S to D tier. Everyone's asking me for a tier list, so here you go. I'm finally delivering to you guys. Let's start with the first thing on here, Anti-Rosa Tech. This is a bunch of different ways to kill Luma, and if you kill Luma as Greninja, you get so much out of interactions against Rosa. And the biggest one is Fthrow into the Shadow Sneak, and also back air ledge trapping. Back air ledge trapping is actually cracked, but Fthrow into Shadow Sneak will always kill Luma, even from center stage, because Fthrow does knockback to Rosa, and then on top of that, it puts Luma into tumble because of the hitbox. And from there, you can Shadow Sneak her right off the stage. Being able to kill Luma as Greninja in this matchup is going to help you out so much. And knowing all of your ways to do that is very, very good. So there's our first A tier. Next up, we have Aqua Jet. So I think Aqua Jet is great. I think it's super cool when it comes to ledge trapping. But at the same time, it requires setup. And you get a lot off of even just the bubble. I feel that if we lab Aqua Jet a bit more, we're gonna be able to like fucking break Lilat in half, because you're in no end lag for doing Hydro Pump like wave dashing on ledge, and your opponent has to get around that. If they choose neutral get up, they get hit off stage. If they choose roll, they get hit by the pump, and you can even like ledge cancel into a forward smash, which I've done. If they choose get up attack, you're out of the range, and if they choose to wait at ledge, you could just keep on aqua jetting. And the last thing is if they choose ledge jump, they're landing above you on Lilat, and up smash connects on that stage. And on top of that, if they do choose to regrab the ledge, Hydro Pump is a win box, which means that they don't get regrab invincibility, and from there you can choose to, down smash or down air and kill them very early. Something else about Aqua Jet, you can wave dash out of it. And the thing about this wave dash, look at where I'm at after it. I'm in a position to connect down tilt on ledge hang. And then from there, down tilt F smash can connect. So I feel that Aqua Jet has a lot to go. But at the current moment, I feel that, we need more labbing with it. And because of that, I think Aqua Jet's going to go into B tier and not A tier. If we find more setups to get that infinite Aqua Jet and find out how to do it consistently instead of just doing like a max of 5 reps, oh man, Aqua Jet's going to be so good. So next up, we've got back air locking. This was towards the beginning of the year. I talked about how whenever you lock with back air, you actually get even more frame advantage than a jab lock. And what's so good about that is that you can combo into nair out of a jab lock. Alright, this was towards like the beginning of the year whenever I found this. But I do think that this still has a lot of potential, and unfortunately it kind of got swept under the rug. Which I don't blame it, like I'm always finding shit, but I think this one, it's really up there. Okay, so whenever you normally jab lock someone, you only have 20 frames of advantage. So here, I'm only in 20 frames. And if I were to try to do something like, I don't know, a nair, Warrior's able to get up in time before, like, that nair even comes out. However, if you do a back air and lock with that, that nair is guaranteed. And from there, you could, nair up smash, get any nair extension. And what's also good about it, if I were to lock Wario in this direction, I'd have to F smash him back off stage, which, that gives him stage. However, because of that back air lock, now I have the option. Let me just go ahead and cross up with nair into fair. I haven't done this in a while, but see, now I can actually cross him up and kill. So I feel that this down air lock has a lot of potential. And on top of that, later we're going to talk about down air footstool tech chasing. If they do hit this tech, back air has like no unlike, so you can still cover their option with dash up down tilt. So that's super, super good. But at the same time, I feel that we still have a long ways to go with this, because the only real case I'd say in which you'll be getting that lock is from footstool tech chasing. However, there are still more applications where you're going to be able to lock with back air, and you'll be getting a much bigger benefit than jab lock a lot of the time. So for now, I think it's in B tier, but over time, I think it's just going to get better. But yeah, Bair Locking, I'm going to put in B tier. B for Bair. Okay, so this has been a fucking amazing year for Hydro Pump ledge canceling. I feel that we've made a very, very big improvement when it comes to Hydro Pump, and we've come a long way. This is C-Shift Hydro Pump ledge canceling. So this is a very, very quick, consistent ledge cancel. Normally, if you go straight down like that, you don't get the ledge cancel. However, if you go into teeter and you do that, you can get that ledge cancel every time. So what I'm doing is a short hop C-stick back air, and then just Hydro Pump straight down. And the thing about this isn't like the ledge cancel itself, it's what that ledge cancel sets up into, because look at this. From here, you can 180 ledge cancel every time, and on stages like Small Battlefield, you can do this ledge cancel and still get center stage. So this is very good at threatening horizontal recoveries. And it has so much potential because of like all of the other ledge cancels that it sets up into. And it's very quick and low effort. Like dash up, okay, teeter back here. Dash up, teeter back here. So I think that is very solid. So I'm gonna put this one, I think, into A tier because this just couples with all the Hydro Pump tech that we found this year. Anti-Cloud Tech. This one's very, very good because it means that Cloud's upbeat can't hit you on tri-flats. And on top of that, you can capitalize off of him whiffing and his move not working. So normally, from what I remember labbing, there's an 8-frame punish window in which you can punish Cloud for whiffing his uppy, but if you try to do something like up air, you're only going to get the tiny like first hit and then fall down. So being able to force a tech chase with Footstool down air is so, so good. And on top of that, just having the recognition that his uppy's not going to work against Greninja on tri-flats, I think that's solid because you can spam dash attack in neutral if he's standing in the middle of Battlefield or Yoshi story. And if he does that and he tries to counter you by doing uppy out of shield, which is his counterplay, right? You can just bait that and then, you know, Footstool down air, tech chase, kill him at 60. So this one's going into A tier. I think that's very, very good in the Cloud matchup. Down air locks versus heavyweights. So I've been experimenting a lot this year with down air locking opponents. And the thing about down air locking is that against certain characters with large character models, you're able to connect the Sour Spot Nair after the lock. From there, you know, it's the same thing kind of as back air locking into Nair versus jab locking into Nair. So this one's kind of like jab locking, but not as good. And a lot of the time, I feel that what you can do instead of the down air lock is just short hop back air and lock them. Because if you whiff the down air, you're in end lag if they hit the tech. Whereas if you whiff the back air, you're totally free to act out. So I feel that this one doesn't have as much usage, and it only works on big bodies as well. So I do think it has some usage, like if you set up for mistechs on Battlefield and such. But apart from that, I don't see too much use out of it. It's very cool, but I'm going to put it in C tier. Down air tech chasing. Okay, whenever you do force a tech chase with down air, you're able to capitalize off it very well. So something I like to do whenever down air tech chases, or down air forces a tech chase like this, is toss out back air 1. Because if they miss the tech, I get to capitalize. You know, if they miss the tech, I get nair combos off of that. And if they hit the tech, I can pressure them right after. And this also does cover roll if you're ready for it. Okay, perfect. So you can toss out that Bair 1 to cover the missed tech. And if he does decide to roll, come on, Warrior, you can get there in time. So that kind of shows that you can get a lot off of tech chases. And the same thing goes for Nair. If he misses the tech, okay, cool. If he hits the tech, you are able to get there in time. And the thing about this as well is that Nair lingers and covers tech in place. Come on. See how I was able to get there in time while still covering like neutral tech / tech in place. But yeah, I think this down air tech chase is very good. The only thing about it is that it's not actually forced. Shh. A lot of people will still have to tech out of it, but you could just like auto cancel an aerial slash jump up and even like hit Greninja out of the tech chase option. I think it's an A tier, but yeah, it's avoidable. All right, two framing with Greninja's dash attack. Oh boy. So this is something that I've always seen people ask about, and I kind of just, swept it under the rug because what I thought was dash attack doesn't reach low enough on ledge hang in order to, even hit a lot of ledge hangs. However, there are so many moves that dash attack two frames, and two framing slash ledge trapping isn't the same thing. What I mean by that is that there are certain characters whose ledge hangs you can't hit with dash attack, but you can hit their up B and two frame them. An example of that, I believe, is King DDD. There are a lot of characters that you can two frame with dash attack, and on top of that, because you're using the later hitbox of dash attack, which is 5 frames as opposed to down tilt's 2, you can combo with a lingering hitbox into short hop forward air and kill people at like 90, which is incredibly good. And if they do manage to air dodge because you connected the earlier hitbox, you can frame trap into a back air and then go for a stage spike. I think dash attack 2 framing is an S tier. Like, you get so much off of it as opposed to, down tilt into whiff, let me reset or give them like an opportunity to get back onto the stage. Dash attack 2 framing has so much to offer for Greninja. So that's going into S tier. Double back air drag downs. This one got kind of swept under the radar, but what you can do on triplats, a lot of the time, you'll go for, down air into back air drag down, but you'll end up on the platform and your opponent won't. And from there, what you can do is just, drop through the platform into another back air and then turn around down tilt. And against floatier characters, I think it's like Lucina and floatier, as in slower airspeed, you're able to combo that guaranteed. Against fast followers, it's more of a call out, but still, that's so good as opposed to like, losing all the momentum that you gained just because you ended up on the platform. I think this one goes into A tier. Unfortunately, it got kind of swept under the rug, but I think it's a very, very good tool for keeping your advantage state. Full Charge Water Shuriken Vector Edition. This sounds so weird, but this is a very, very interesting tech, and it's super cool. So this is very weird to explain, but whenever you hit someone with a full Shuriken, it doesn't actually lock them into shield like something like Hydro Pump does. They'll actually be able to drop shield, but it does hit them if you do that. And because of that, it creates some very interesting properties. See, I'm able to get jab out, but it stuns them for even longer. The only use I found for this was at high percents, where Water Shuriken just barely might not kill, right? But what you can do is combo into dash attack to give it like a tiny extra bit of knockback. And I think down tilt also works. Yeah. See, I'm able to like get down tilt off of that for like a tiny extra bit of like knockback on Water Shuriken. So see here, he only goes up to the blue line, but here he goes up even higher. That's like the only use for it I found, but I still think it's a very interesting mechanic. And if we were able to like grab or footstool out of it, that would be fucking amazing. Like Pirate Blazing End potential. But at this point, unfortunately, I think it's in D tier. I think it's super fucking cool, but I think it's in D tier. I was able to grab opponents a few times. Let's try that. Let's try that. We might bump it into C tier right now. Bro, what? Bro! Okay, this shit's C tier. Whoa. Okay, thank you, Guardian. Holy fuck, bro. Wait, does this like stack with grab knockback? Bro, wait. Okay. That'll trip someone up. That'll trip someone up. What? That's wild. I really want to get back here. I really want to get back here out of this. But if we could like combo to something like up smash, That would be fucking ridiculous. Hydro Pump I'm not too sure of because that has like 19 frames of startup. So like I'm not even reaching him in time. Maybe if I was able to like fucking slant cancel off of it. Oh shit. Okay, we are in position. So at mid percents, right, you were able to get that slant cancel into a back air. So what I'm thinking now is on Lilat, you could actually get back air 1 out as you slant cancel. Whereas on Yoshi's you can't. So I'm wondering if like you could ride up with the Shuriken and back air 1 out of it. No way. That might be like a combo. Wait. You guys see where I'm going with this, right? We can get it. We can get it. There we go. Bro. Okay, maybe this is C tier and not D tier now. I wonder if we can add like more hit stun to it from down tilt and then combo into forward air. I want to see if we can get down tilt fair at this percent. That's guaranteed. Jeez. Can I get down tilt up smash? That's also guaranteed. Bro, what? Let me get back here. I got the one tiny hit of back here. You see that? I swear. Forward air might be doable. I don't know how off we are, but... Is this hitbox even out? Bro! Look at that. Okay, so the forward air overrides the knockback of the Shuriken. Look at that. But the point still stands. You can get that. Which means that at ledge, you can kill with that. Boom. Boom. Jeez. Alright, so this water Shuriken tech, I had it in D tier. I think we're going to C tier now. Yeah, I'm bumping this shit to C tier. But if you asked me before the stream, that was D tier. Footstool down air, footstool tech chases. I think these go into A tier because a lot of people say things like, oh, why would you ever footstool? They can just tech. We can cover every single one of their tech options with this on top of getting Bair locks. I think this is very fucking good. This one's actually going into D tier. Unfortunately, I really want to find out how to get it to work. Shadow Sneak Footstool, or Footstool Shadow Sneak. But the inputs for it are like Shadow Sneak into Footstool into release Shadow Sneak during the actual Footstool animation into Shadow Sneak comes out. There we go. But yeah, high percents you can do that. That's going into D tier because it only works on U2 and holy fuck, it just took me like 10 minutes to get it. Alright, F-tilt ledge trapping. This goes into A tier. I think F-tilt ledge trapping combined with instant pivot grab ledge trapping is very good. The only thing... You think it's S tier? Wow. Let's weigh this out. So it covers every grounded ledge get up option in the game. If the opponent jumps, you don't have as much end lag as instant pivot grab, and you can still cover the jump. It also beats get up attack by forcing you to shift your hurt box back around it. It might be S tier. It might actually be S tier. The only complaint I have about it is that against ledge get up attacks, you have to be on point with your timing. Because if you don't react to the actual get up attack animation, you won't shift back in time. Like the get up attack animation versus the neutral get up animation, those are two different timings to beat those options. But I do think that Ftilt has very, very strong ledge trapping capabilities. Yeah, that's true. I think it's a very good option then. And on top of that, you can like fake one option, like fake that you're doing short hop back airs to cover ledge jump. And then after the short hop, because you can input a tilt stick input and turn around, you can just F-tilt towards the ledge and hit them back off stage whenever they, commit to the roll or neutral get up. So, very good. If we could cover like ledge hang with an angled F-tilt here too, that would be insane. That's something else I've been laughing about F-tilt, like if you angle F-tilt down, it'll 2-frame for like 3 frames as opposed to down tilt's 2. So F-tilt lingers and it's really, really solid. I'd say that dash attack 2-framing, I don't know. I don't know where this goes in relation to dash attack 2-framing. Dash attack 2-framing does so much for Greninja, and this one's like an extra option. I think dash attack 2-framing takes it a tiny bit because the other options that Greninja has for 2-framing aren't nearly as good. And F-tilt, like, you have other options that you can use. You can use short hop back air, you can use instant pivot grab, you can use forward air to cover neutral get up. So that's super solid that you can add it to your kit. But when it comes to like dash attack 2-framing, what else are you gonna do? Like 2 frames of down tilt or 2 frames of whatever. It can cover so many 2 frames. So I think that's an S tier discovery. Snake Grenade Boosted Fthrow. Alright, so for those of you that don't know, if you grab a snake that goes into shield immediately after using a grenade and you F-throw him, that F-throw will send him straight up above Greninja. And on DI in, because you know he's expecting the F-throw, he doesn't want to go off stage as much. If he DIs in, you can true combo into an up air for a kill, but it only starts working at 126%, which is when Fthrow has enough hit stun on it. It does more like pause, you know? That's when it'll actually start sending Snake above you. So at that percent, it can be good, but it's a little bit niche. I definitely think it works out in certain situations because Snakes love to like pull grenade shield. But it does have more potential than Shadow Snake Footstool. So I'm going to put it in C tier. Heavy Grenfinites. Oh boy. So heavies have like escaped Grenfinites forever. So on Peach, this will work, but on Bowser, it doesn't. So the solution we have for that is doing a second up air. So something like this. You'll do the one up tilt into an up air, second, and then the up tilt to tech chase. Or not to tech chase, but to catch them as they're falling. Except heavies are big enough to where they can hit the ground and tech out before you can even get that up air. So the solution to that is by doing a down tilt into an up tilt and then resetting the Grenfinite. And that's super, super solid, especially when you consider that DI out against heavies, I don't believe saves them from dash attack into up air. Yeah, that's guaranteed. And from here, you can Grenfinite. There's a way to hit that down tilt so that you can combo into an up tilt even on DI out. I did it in my video that I posted on Twitter. I think it's a pretty big discovery. If you want to see me do it properly, you can go to my Twitter. But I know for a fact that I can do it on no DI. But when it comes to DI out, it's a little bit trickier. There you go. So that's guaranteed. How much did that do? That did 55%. Before, we'd usually call this at the down tilt up smash, which makes sense. But now you can actually like keep them up in the air and follow them. But that's only like, what, 2% more than the actual down tilt up smash? I can see the argument for it being low A tier or high B tier. So let's look at it in comparison. So let's look at what we're comparing it with. We're comparing it with Rosa Tech, Hydro Pump 1. Okay, so compared to Footstool Down Air Footstool in double back air drag downs, I think it deserves... It's low A / top of B. I think it's more so low A. In comparison to Down Air Footstool Down Air, or Footstool Down Air Footstool, and double back air drag downs, I think it's in the same category here because it really expands the combo routes that you have on heavies. So Hydro Pump Shield Locking. Oh boy, I talked about this a bit in my new video, and I think that this shit is absolutely cracked. Whenever you do Hydro Pump ledge planking, they're ready for it, and their solution to it is by shielding, right? So instead of like, you know, doing the plank, go straight through them. And in that time, he's not able to act out until I'm way the fuck over here. And that's safe on shield. We lab this. There's not a single character in the game that can punish you. Even Rob's gyro out of shield doesn't reach you. For one, that's super good. And for two, as a landing option, you know how characters love to shield Greninja's landing aerials? What you can do is pump and then lock them in shield right there while they're expecting the landing aerial. And they're locked until you're all the way out over here. And they can't punish you for that. Diddy Banana, even that. We've tried Rob Gyro, which like goes even further than Banana faster. That doesn't reach you. I think this is S tier because it really expands Greninja's disadvantage and even neutral. If you use Hydro Pump in neutral and they drop shield, they're always going to be hit by the last bubble. And if they choose to like jump, that's all time that Bowser's stuck in the air for. And he has to spend all that time falling down. I think it's pretty fucking solid, and on top of that, like, it just adds so much to Greninja's, you know, disadvantage, ledge options, neutral, ledge cancels. I talked about how it's positive on shield if you use it with a slant cancel, which we have tons of setups for on Lilat, and the great setup on Yoshi's story. I think this goes into S tier. That's me personally. I think this is an S tier discovery. A lot of people knew about it, but we've expanded on it so much this year. Instant double jump down air locking. Oh boy. I think this one goes into D tier. So this is just a very niche little thing that I found, and I thought it was an interesting discovery. So normally, if you do a short hop down air, Greninja doesn't reach this platform. But if you do an IDJ down air, he does. So if you force a tech chase with something like, I don't know, an up throw, and then miss that tech, you can IDJ down air to lock them on the platform. And what you can do after that is stall with a water shuriken, wait out that missed tech option, and then punish with something like an air. Come on. Something like that. I just thought it was like an interesting application of IDJ down air because you're not finding anything else with IDJ down air. They're like one of two Greninja IDJ techs. But that goes into D tier. I think it's like a very nice coincidence, but that goes into D tier, bro. Like, you're not doing much off of it. Oh man, log extended substitute. This shit went so under the radar, it's insane. So, I think this one's actually like very slept on. This is a sleeper tech. Alright, so you know how whenever you hold a grenade or something and you counter, it makes that counter last for even longer or like even more startup? This is pretty much that, but on low budget. So a lot of characters have projectiles that can like hit you, and your counterplay to that is by using counter. However, whenever they do this, a lot of the time they're outside of the range of the counter and you end up countering on spot. So here's the solution I came up with. Whenever they toss out a projectile, they're very likely to run in behind it and wait out that counter and try to go for a punish. If you get Log, which has a bigger hitbox than Substitute, or like a doll from Substitute, what you can do is counter. Let me see if I can set this up. Counter, and look at this. You see where Log's at? You can extend the actual hitbox of counter off of Log. There we go. So you see how that lasts for even longer? It's because Greninja's actually kicking the Log. You see? And on top of that, your invincibility frames from that also get extended with the hitbox. So if they run in, that's all time that you can hit them. Check this out. So Pika tosses out T-Jolt at me and then runs in behind it. But because I'm able to extend the actual hitbox off of Log, what I did was I angled my counter down on top of Log, and that keeps me frozen here with a hitbox. So as he quick attacks, he goes in on the substitute. This is all a threat zone. So that takes the hitbox and makes it active for even longer, and that's how I was able to capitalize on Pika there. See how Greninja pauses once he hits Log? This tech is very, like, slept on. It went so under the radar because originally I only used it to, like, go through get up attack armor. But I think it has some very good applications depending on situations. And if you combine that with long counters from holding grenades and such, I think it's super solid. So I'm going to put this one in C tier for now, but I hope to see you guys apply this. Oh, long counter. So the understanding of long counter was discovered this year, and now we know why long counter works. If you guys don't know what I mean by long counter, I got plenty of clips with this yesterday on stream because we had a snake player come in and I made a insane comeback with it. So what the snake player did was he tossed out a grenade, but what I was able to do was pick up that grenade, and whenever you pick up an item, the priority of the item changes to yourself. So look at how long Greninja disappears for, right? Forever. And on top of that, you can combine that with, you know, log counters to extend the hitbox and make it take even longer to come out. And that'll really throw snake players off. But the reason this works is because the item priority changes to Greninja, and Greninja targets the person that threw the item or who activated the counter. So here, it activates on Snake and I teleport towards him, right? Slow him down. But if I hold this item, what I'm doing is I'm slowing myself down through counter startup, and I'm teleporting to myself in place. So now we have the understanding that you don't need to be holding an item whenever that happens. You're free to drop it and then counter afterwards, and you still get that long counter. And you can see that long counter also lets me activate the extension with the substitute doll. So now we have an understanding of that, and long counter is so fucking useful in these matchups, especially against Snake. I think it's very solid. However, the understanding of it doesn't like make all that much of a difference. Like, if you're gonna go for the long counter, you might as well just hold the grenade and not Z drop it. But I think long counter in itself is so good. But now that we have the understanding that you're always gonna end up on spot and you're always gonna slow-mo, that's great. I'm thinking A tier. If Heavy Grenfinite is up here, I'd say it's above Heavy Grenfinite. It's going above Heavy Grenfinite, but in A tier. Alright, next up we've got Slant cancels on Lilat. We found so many cancels on Lilat this year, and it makes everything so much better. You have Aqua Jet ledge trapping, you have Waveland slant cancels in the middle of the stage. You're able to apply Hydro Pump pressure in so many situations with this, and I think it's probably top of A tier. I don't think it's quite S tier, but there's a lot that you can do with this. You can go across the stage just like you can on Yoshi's story, but it doesn't like win you any matchups necessarily. But I think it makes Lilat so much stronger of a stage for Greninja, especially if you understand it and your opponent doesn't. That's the reason I'll always go to Lilat and Dittos, because a lot of Greninja players dismiss this stage, but if you start using these slant cancels to actually grind out Lilat, you just get another stage to use. And because of that, I'll always go Lilat versus certain characters like Chrom. I think Ness on Lilat is very good. If your opponent's worst stage is Lilat, that makes that stage so much better for you because you have an understanding of it and they'll just dismiss it. And they won't expect a Greninja player to go to Lilat, right? So I think it's got that added bonus outside of practicality. Mega Man Shield Breaks. This got buffed. And oh man, this is so solid because it basically takes Crash Bomber and turns it into a guaranteed stock on Mega Man. If Mega Man tosses Crash Bomber on you, and all you need is damage from forward air, you can get a guaranteed shield break. Just like that. The only option that he has out of this is a spot dodge or roll. But even then, because of counter slow-mo, he doesn't actually enter an invincibility frame some of those moves, and you can choose to hit him in a direction. So I'll use this all the time to take stocks off of Mega Man players. So if I'm at ledge, I'll just do it into diag down counter. And even if they shield, diag down counter will still hit through this shield. Upwards counter spawns Greninja inside of Mega Man, whereas diag down shield pokes. The fact that you can take Mega Man's Crash Bomber and get a guaranteed stock off of it, I think that's an A tier discovery. That's so solid in this matchup. I say it's like up here, above Cloud Tech. I don't think it's above Lilat. I don't think it's above back air C-shift slant cancel. Here, let me organize this a bit. I think Lumotech is really solid. It's more useful than that. Footstool down air, tech chasing. Well, this one relies on footstool down air, tech chasing. double back air. I think this one goes at bottom of A tier. This one here, long counter. Yeah, I'd say that's above. Footstool down air, footstool. Yeah, I don't think Aqua Jet's as good as back air 1. I think this one's above Ftilt ledge trapping. I think counter extension is like top of this tier. I'd say that heavy Dair Lock's a little bit more common than that. In here, footstool shadow sneak. Yeah. All right, there we go. Phantom Footstool out of shield. I found a use for Phantom Footstool out of shield. Phantom Footstool gives you invincibility on frame 4. And what you can do off of that is down air, because it cancels the actual Phantom Footstool like pop-up. And then you can combo off of it. It's not the most useful thing in the world, but it's definitely something. Like, you're able to beat Dancing Blade with it. So, it's okay. But I'd say it goes above Mewtwo Shadow Sneak. Not quite Dair Lock category, but above Mewtwo Shadow Sneak. Okay, down air versus spring recoveries. I've never used this. I think it's a very cool discovery, but I've never used this over the course of like the year in which I found it. For those of you that don't know, whenever the opponent has an item, like Wario's bike for example, if you use down air off of the bike, you'll actually pop up. And this also works on certain recovery moves like Sonic Spring, Mega Man Up B, Banjo Up B, Pac-Man Up B. And you'll go right back to ledge if you missed a down air. And the thing about this is that it actually gives you access to the spike hitbox of down air, which is very good because unless you want to die at 0, you're not getting that on any other stage because Greninja isn't able to jump out of it. I think it's good to know, but I still haven't used this. And I discovered this, in like March? So I'm putting this in D tier. D for down air. Next up, we've got Shadow Flare counter. This shit blew me up on Twitter for no reason. People did not know how to count Shadow Flare, and I think this got like 2,000 likes. So I think this one, like, it's very helpful in the matchup, and even if you don't want to counter Shadow Flare, you can just air dodge through it with proper timing. So I'm going to put this one in A tier. There's not too much to say about it, apart from you counter Shadow Flare. I think it's more useful than Anti-Rosa Tech. I'm thinking down air tech chases are better than this because it does more across multiple matchups, whereas this can do a lot for Greninja in one matchup. I think I'm happy with that placement. Look at all these A tiers, by the way. Holy fuck. Up next, we've got Shadow Sneak during end lag. Oh man, this is so fucking cool and I really like it. But I haven't found a single use for it. I discovered this towards the end of the year, and bro, I almost missed a fucking, like, test for this because I thought it was so cool. I, like, had to skip on breakfast before a test to lab this shit, and even then, like, it wasn't worth it. I should have just, like, gone and eaten eggs and bacon. So check this out. This is so cool. If you charge Shadow Sneak, like, 1 frame before you auto-cancel a move, Shadow Sneak will take that auto-cancel window and say, okay, you're not actually out of the move. So here you can see I'm out of down air and I started charging Shadow Sneak, but the game still thinks, like, I'm in down air after charging it, and it'll put me in down air end lag while still keeping the shadow up from Shadow Sneak. So you can see it charging in this direction, which is super cool, but you can't release it until after you exit the move's animation. It will just automatically release. And plus, look at the position that I have to, like, input this from. Way the fuck up here. The only other, like, more consistent way I found to set this up was by doing a diagonal upwards counter angle from the right side of Smashville. And what it'll do is it'll take you from that 1 frame of being in the air into being in sideways counter end lag. So it'll take you from upwards counters animation to the sideways and keep you in end lag and cancel the Shadow Sneak. So you can cancel one special move with another special move. Super fucking cool. Not a single use. So, oh man. I'd say this goes like even below Mewtwo Shadow Sneak. I really wish we were able to like find a use of like, you know, combo into Shadow Sneak, like forward air into Shadow Sneak somehow, but unfortunately not. Alright, next up, Sheik Burst Grenade combos. So item combos against characters are very, very good with Greninja, especially if you have like Rob Gyro or Peach Turnip. The thing is, you have to rehearse them. And unless you're like willing to put in the time to rehearse them and like understand I'm gonna give up half of my neutral for, you know, like 10 seconds to look for this item combo, you're not gonna get all that much off of it. But with that said, Sheik's grenade as an item is like very surprisingly simple to pick up. All you need to do is counter one side B, which she loves to do whenever you're at ledge. And if you counter it, you'll hit Sheik out of the pull animation where she's pulling the needle or the grenade. And you're able to pick it up as an item. And from there, Greninja has some incredibly like good combos on Sheik, especially like from Z drop, from out of shield. Very solid combos. All right, so here we go. Nair into item throw. That's all guaranteed, by the way. However, while it is a 97% combo, you have to rehearse that shit, and even then I was only able to get it on 1/4 speed. And I had to like 4 times this like video. So very, very fucking solid like combo potential, but you're not gonna be using that all that much. So I'd say it goes in B tier below ledge trapping with Aqua Jet. Alright, next up we've got Arsene down air spiking. This video has history with me because oof, it made me like go through some things. So you know that whole MKLeo video I put like fucking 2 months time into? MKLeo didn't get to see that at all, but because I recorded like a 7-second video of how to tech Arsene's down air, of course that's the shit he retweets and says like, man, why did you tell people about it? And it got me so much attention. But that really fucked with me, and I had to like get off of Twitter for 2 weeks. So looking at the tech itself, it's good. It's very good to know, but it's nothing game breaking. For example, like Aqua Jet or Waveland ledge cancels or anything. So I'd say that this goes into B tier because it's very good knowledge and it keeps Arsene from getting like a free down air up smash. But it's nothing like, you know, heavy Grenfinite or, you know, cloud anti Footstool Up B tech on Yoshi story. I think it's good knowledge, but it's nothing like too amazing. Up smash consistency. Oh boy. So time to address this. I made a whole stream about this when 13.0 dropped, and I thought that up smash got shadow buffed, and I was like fucking convinced it got shadow buffed because what I did was on stream I was with like 30 of you guys and I think I started this placebo effect where we were on Battlefield and up smash connected on Ganon, but it wouldn't have connected before the patch, but it still connects. And then fucking like Ruben decided to like rerun all of his like game parsing files to see if anything changed about up smash at all, and nothing changed. But now we know how up smash works. We know how up smash works, and I'd say that's an A tier in itself. So the fact that we labbed out what characters that up smash can work on what stages, that's like very, very good game knowledge to have. So I'm gonna put it in A tier for, you know, finding out how this move works after what, like fucking 3 years time. I think it's great. I'd say it's up here actually, like, because this gives us options like Smashville versus Ness, Smashville versus Yoshi's, being able to up smash Rob on Kalos. Very, very good discovery. I might put it at the top of A tier. Do I think it's S tier? I don't know. I think it's very good, but you think it's B tier? Nah. Up smash might be a B tier move, but like finally understanding how it whiffs and how to prevent it from whiffing is incredibly valuable information. IMO. I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier. That's how I feel about it. I don't think it's quite S tier because there are some inconsistencies, like whenever they miss a tech or like having to be exactly perfectly centered on their character model. But I think that knowledge is very, very valuable. All right, next up, Autocancel Up Air combos. Fucking S tier, discovery of the year, bro. There are so many ways to reversal your opponent and just like kill off of it and Autocancel Up Air. I think I used like 20 different clips in the Yoshi story video. That's not anything that you can say about like Lilat slant cancels, right? There's so much that you can do with Autocancel Up Air, and it just takes Greninja's punish game through the window. Through the roof. That's the saying. I do think that up throw isn't like the best way to set it up. I do think that there's a lot more potential in up tilt and dash attack since, you know, that has more hit stun and in getting the up air afterwards is much more reliable. But still, like, this took Greninja's up throw and made it a much better move. So I'm gonna put that at S tier for Discovery of the Year right there. What do you guys think? Any objections? Any objections about up throw up air? Water Spout. Oh man, this is so fucking cool, and I think that it's very useful. It's just a little bit slept on, and it needs practice. But like the day I found out about Water Spout, I was able to get a Water Spout kill. So the way Water Spout works is by basically you time a Hydro Chump so that the wind box from Hydro Pump pushes the opponent after they get ledge chumped, and that sends them fucking flying. So here we go. See how Isabel's way the hell over here? And now she's forced to re-grab the ledge without respawn invincibility or go onto the stage and giving me a free punish. Think of how much Hydro Pump catches your opponent off guard already. And now think of like being able to do that at 40 and getting like a much bigger reward than like Hydro Trump into back air. If they re-grab the ledge, you can dare and spike them at 40. And on top of that, downer doesn't send it to tumble yet, which means that if you're playing on a stage with walls, they can't tech that hitbox. And they're not able to, you know, like, use the wall to tech it and then make their way back to stage. I think that this is a very, very good discovery. And it needs more practice. I think this is A tier. But with that said, I think it's more of the lower part of A tier. As far as, like, tech itself goes, I think this is very good. But it's not as useful as long counter, I don't think, or double back air. I think it's more useful than heavy Grenfinite, but yeah. I still think it's a good tech. Alright, last two. Waveland's fucking ledge cancels. S tier. Bro, all the times that you guys told me, Apple, how are you gonna set up for a ledge cancel from like fucking run off Shadow Sneak into B reverse water shuriken into up air into like C shift back Dua Lipa shit. We found it! We finally found out how to get that. That's so good. This changes how you're able to get ledge cancels on every stage. And it's so consistent. Like on small battlefield, frame 1. Let me go ahead and Waveland into a ledge cancel across the fucking stage. This is so useful. And it takes like that whole time that we were working with C shifts and makes them incredibly worth it. So I think this one's going into S tier. Maybe slightly above this. Slightly above this. I don't know if it's better than Dash Attack 2 framing. I think this is a good spot for it. But yeah, this has been a great year for Hydro Pump. The final thing we're going to talk about is Yoshi's Story Slant Cancel. You guys saw my YouTube video on it. You know why I love this shit. You know why it's so good for Gren. But at the same time, it's nothing game breaking. Like, first of all, it plays off of Waveland ledge cancel setups, which is great. And it plays off of shield locks, which is great. But in itself, I don't think it's like an S tier category. I think it's very high up in A tier. But I'd actually argue that it's worse than Lilat's slant cancels because you don't get as much off of it. And plus on Lilat, you have the same setup to go across the entire stage as well. On top of Waveland center platform ledge cancel. Fucking Waveland Aqua Jet ledge trapping. I think it goes right here underneath Lilat. But I still think it's a very, very good ledge cancel setup. We made some fucking amazing discoveries this year, bro. Like, holy crap. This has been a great year for Gren. That's the thing, like, I'm just laughing in training mode. I'm just doing shit that I like to do for fun. It's you guys that actually take the knowledge and interpret it and, like, start applying it. The thing about me is that I'm not all that much of a competitor, but the fact that I can relay this information to JW, Tariq, Venia, iStudying, that's how I know, like, this is good info. And we're going to be able to actually start seeing this applied to Greninja's meta. So, yeah, I think I'm good with this list. I think that's like 32 different discoveries that we have listed here. And also, if you guys want to, you're totally free to go ahead and make your own list with the same tier list, I believe. All right. So with that said, I hope this is a fun little video. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Here's to 2022 and finding tons of more Greninja tech.